Hello everyone. Today I'm going to show you how to do a simple room and object cleansing. This is witchcraft. First, what you want to get is, what I do is I use a plastic bag and I fill it with cinnamon, salt, and I'm going to add thyme leaves and basil leaves ground up into this bag. The purpose of this is to ward off any unwanted spirits and energy, dark magic, dark energy. It will trap any of that in this if it attempts to enter. Make sure it's mixed well. When you make this bag, make it with the intentions of guarding wherever you place it from any dark and unwanted energy and spirits. What you're also going to want is some paper and a fire-safe bowl and a lighter. That's all I have for right now. I can do a setup video if you guys want me to, but this is just my notepad. I've got a recipe written down here. I've got the protection rune and a bunch of other runes that you can use. None of this is baneful. I want to make that clear. None of this is baneful magic. The baneful runes, it's stuff like courage, good luck, health, protection, stuff like that. So what you want to do is you want to find a fresh paper. Grab yourself a pen, if I have one right here. Grab yourself a pen or a pencil. It does help if you write in the color that is represented with the intentions that you have, but it's not required. Actually, a bunch of this stuff isn't required. Witchcraft is mainly based around your intentions. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to write the cleansing rune, which I'll show you. It doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to look somewhat like the rune that you want to put down. Rune is just a word for characters. I've noticed a lot of these are Norse. So it's just old letters from an old alphabet, probably the old Norse alphabet. And one thing I'd like to point out is the threefold rule is a Wiccan religious belief that any baneful magic practiced will affect the caster 3 times that it affects the one casted upon. That is a Wiccan belief. It is a religious belief. If you are not Wiccan or religious while you were doing this, you were perfectly fine. It does not affect you. That scares a lot of people away from stuff. So what I've done here, alright, I gotta do that one again because I ripped the paper. Okay, what I've done here is I have written the cleansing rune, which is basically a Y, but it's got an extra line coming up through it. It looks exactly like this, and I wrote cleanse on the bottom here just to solidify what the intention for it is. Now this is the basic that you can do. This is, if you have nothing else, if you don't have access to spices or anything else, you can do this. You can set this in a fire-safe bowl and light it and cast the smoke around your door. I'll show you how to do that in a minute. Right now, I am cleansing this bowl and the altar that I've set up. That's a very important thing. I believe it's one of the most important things that you can do in witchcraft, is cleansing before you do anything. And if you start feeling negative energy, you need to re-cleanse. So like, I had this set up before, but I started feeling negative energy again, and I started feeling like I had to replace it, so I'm replacing it now. So what you want to do with this, I'm going to show you the bare basic that you can do with this. What I do is fold it up because my bowl is a little bit small, but if you have a larger one, you don't need to fold it. That doesn't do anything. I fold it, I place it in the bowl. You grab your lighter. You find, I like to do it from a corner so it's easier to light. You take it in your hand, and once it's lit and smoking, you move it in a counterclockwise motion to banish the negative energy and whatever you wish to banish. If you go clockwise, which I'm not going to do, it will allow the dark energy and negative energy to come in. It will welcome. You do the clockwise motion if you want to enchant something or bring a positive energy into your room. What I'm doing now, I don't want anything coming in. I want it to leave. That's why I've left the door open. You can open the window. Mine is frozen shut right now because it's the middle of winter in New York. It's cold. It's cold. It got water on it. It's frozen. The window's frozen. I can't open it. I tried so much last night when I was making the altar. It didn't work. Didn't work one bit. Anyways, what you're gonna want to do is you want to take this in one of your hands, doesn't matter which, and you want to light this. Now what you want to do is keep your mind clear. Don't let things distract you. Focus solely on this. I'm going to do it now. If it helps you to say out loud what your intentions are, then do that. If you feel like you don't have to set them, then you don't have to. I feel like I have to in order to set them and make sure that they're set. So that's what I do. That's what I do with any time I do something. Like? This altar and this bowl is now cleansed. There is no dark energy here. There is no negative energy within this altar or this bowl. Any negative energy in this space leaves through the open door. You set your bowl back down. You want to keep going until most of the smoke is gone. Keep going until most of the smoke is gone. And once you're done, it should look something like this. You know what ashes look like. With the ashes, with this, you can either throw them outside or dispose of them. When you do, you want to thank the universe and any helpful deities or spirits that help with the cleansing. You always want to thank whatever it is that you're calling to after you're done. Now that I've done this, the bowl is cleansed, the altar is cleansed. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to roll my way over there. I have a garbage can, you can actually see it, and I'm going to dispose of this. Since this is cleansing, you can dispose of it. And I will do more research and figure out if there are any that you are not supposed to dispose of. And if not, I will tell you what they are. I'll be right back. Alright, I am back. I've disposed of the ashes, as you can see. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave my phone right here, and I'm going to show you the process used in smoking the doorway. The doorway is the same as this, just in a larger motion and vertically instead of horizontally. At least that's the way I've done it since I first did this. If there's another way to do it and you want to do it that way, by all means go ahead. This isn't a set of rules. It's just the way I do it, and if anyone is looking to get into stuff like this, this is just a guide to help you. If you find another way to do it that works for you, that you feel like works better, then do it. There's no set of specific rules that you have to follow. What I'm going to do is first, where is that? Where is it? Yeah, you're only going to believe me, but I lost the grinder I was going to use. It's not actually a grinder, it's a knife. But it's got a pretty solid end on it. And where is it? I'll be right back. Okay, so it turns out I'm just a little stupid. It was under the bag. I set down the bag of cinnamon and salt, and apparently I covered this knife. This is an old buck knife. It is damaged, and it's missing the tip. The tip got broken off somehow. I'm not sure how. It was like this when I found it. So, yeah. It's an old buck knife. I think it's a little damaged. It's a little worn, but it's pretty hefty. And the reason I'm going to use this as a grinder instead of an actual grinder is, well, one, because I don't have an actual grinder, and two, it's got this nice, smooth, rounded end, which you can use for grinding. What I'm first going to do is cleanse this as well, because I didn't do that earlier, and I probably should have. I'm just going to cut because you've already seen this, and I'm taking up too much time. One thing that I do recommend doing with this before I do it is opening the blade, if it's not a fixed blade. You open the blade, at least I'm going to, because it will cover all surfaces. Anyways. Okay, so I've made a bit of a change of plans. You've seen the cleansing rune. I'm not going to show you that again. This is protection. It's a diamond on a stick. Going straight through the middle. I'm doing a protection rune because I intend to protect this from excessive wear and damage so that it will last. So I am enchanting and cleansing at the same time. It's not going to be burned at the same time because I want it to be clear. So I'm going to do the cleansing first to ensure there's nothing negative attached, and then I'm going to do the enchanting, because without anything negative attached, there's nothing to get in the way of the enchanting. I'll do that momentarily. Okay, the blade is cleansed. You can see some of the smoke still rising. Now I'm going to take this protective rune here that I showed you earlier. I'm going to write protection underneath it, once again, just to make sure the intentions are clear. Now with protection, I find it best to state what you want to protect from specifically if you know what you specifically want this to be protected from. Now I have done veiling, which is when you take a headdress or something like this and you hold it over the smoke with whatever enchantments you want. I didn't do anything specific for that because I didn't believe that I needed anything specific. I just said protection as an overall cover. I'll explain the colors in a different video. The meaning behind different colors, I can explain that later. What you take is protection rune, fold it like normal, and place it into the bowl. Now, I would like to mention that the ashes are still in here. That will not affect anything. It hasn't yet. I have done this before. It didn't affect before. It shouldn't this time. Once again, open blade, cleansed knife, light the paper, hold it over the smoke until the smoke builds, Careful of the fire. I burned myself last time. Okay, here we go. This cleansed blade is now protected from excessive wear and damage while in use during spells, cleansings, and other witchcraft. Okay, the blade is now enchanted and cleansed. It's suitable for my intentions. With this, it is going to remain on the altar. It will not be used to open boxes. It will not be used in hunting, or it will only be used in this altar for witchcraft. As I said during the cleansing and the protection, lying to the universe is a very, very bad thing, and you do never want to do it. You will get cursed into oblivion. Never lie to the universe. For any of you religious out there, that's like lying to God. Or whatever you believe in, it's like lying to them. You don't want to do that. Right? If you wouldn't lie to a god, don't lie to the universe. Or any deities that you use in your ceremony. Okay, I'm going to dispose of these ashes. And I'm going to now grind up the thyme leaves and the basil leaves, and I'm going to put them into this bag. I'm going to pin it on the door. I have a backpack, I guess, hanging on the door, which is where I put this. I don't do line on the ground or above the door. Same with the windows. I just do smoke on the windows because I don't have anywhere to hang a bag on the windows. I just do the bag of spice in the backpack on the door because I have a dog. You've probably seen her if you recognize me from another channel. Probably seen her. She would absolutely eat this, and one, I don't want her to eat the protective stuff that I make, or any of the witchcraft stuff actually, and two, it's cinnamon, salt, thyme, and basil. Not a lot of stuff you want your dog to be eating. Cinnamon and salt specifically. Small doses won't kill them. Cinnamon would make her hate her every life decision she's ever made up until that point. But that's in small doses. Like if she gets a couple flakes of cinnamon into her mouth, or a bit of cinnamon dust and salt into her, it's not gonna kill her. It's probably not even gonna hurt her. She's just gonna really, really hate life for a few minutes. And she'll probably be mad at me because she'll think it's my fault. Which it kind of will be. Anyways, I'm going to get rid of these. I'll show you what I do with that this time. You see, thank you again for your assistance. Your assistance is always welcome. I appreciate it. With the extra ash, I just use this hoodie because I don't overly care about this hoodie. It's my work hoodie. So roll back down, and now we take just the thyme and basil. I'm grinding this up because it will make it finer, make it easier to mix in, and all that. And if you look at the thyme, it's in bigger flakes. That's why it's called thyme leaves. Basil leaves aren't really that big. It's kind of like tea, but the basil is the main reason. I'm just going to do it to both because, you know, why not? You add however much you feel like is enough. If you want to add like one splash like that, if you feel like that's enough for the room or whatever your purposes are, then it's enough. If you feel like you have to add more, which I'm going to add a little bit more. If you feel like you have to add more, then add more. If you don't feel like you have to add more, don't. It's fairly straightforward. I trapped a mouse in my wall a couple days ago. I put chili powder the hole he was getting into, and I mixed it with some Mexican chili powder. He's hating life right now. I mixed the chili powder with some silicone glue. He hates it. He's hating it. It smells terrible. It probably tastes terrible because I know he's tried to take a bite out of it. I also put one of those mouse deterring things, those things that make that high-pitched sound there. He really hates that thing. But he's trapped in a wall. He can't get out. Hey, can you move? Can you move? I'm doing something. You go lay down. You go lay down. Okay, so I'm going to take the blunt end of this knife and I'm going to just grind it. When you're grinding, just grind until you feel like you've grounded enough. Doesn't need to be too fine for my purposes. Seems to be fairly well ground. Okay, now I'm just going to open this bag up and add this to the bag. This is a fairly long video. Just make sure that most of it is in there. Just going to use this knife to help it get in. No, it's not good down. I told you to leave. I told you to leave because I know you wouldn't like the smell. I'm talking about dog. There she's right there. She doesn't like the smell, but she doesn't want to be anywhere else but near me. And you close the bag up after you've added your herbs. You just shake it to mix it. You can mix it with your fingers if you want to. Once you've done it, should look something like this. Nice and well mixed. It's got cinnamon, salt, now basil and thyme in it. Basil and thyme are some of the common spices used for cleansing and protecting. You can use anything else that you find out works. I just use these two as my go-to because they're simple to remember and they're almost always in this house. So now, once you've gotten this, you got this thumbtack here. I'm going to put it through this bag. I'm going to come over here and I'm going to show you how I do this. I can't set you over here anymore because it's a little bit of a mess, but once I'm able to, I will. I'll show you next time so you can get a bit of a closer look. This is my door. I'm going to close this momentarily. See my flannels here. This is the backpack I'm talking about. It's right here. I'm going to put this in here. I'm going to pin it to the back of it so that it's as close to the door as I can get it without risking it falling onto the floor. So if it falls on the floor, it's going to get torn into. I'm going to put this here. And when you do this, have in your mind the intentions of blocking harmful and baneful, harmful, negative spirits and energies from entering the room. This bag of spice and herb protects my space. It does not allow negative energy or spirits to enter and affect anyone inside. Now, if you have any specific names that you want to use, like I did last time. If you have any specific names you want to use, you have to use their first and last name, full first and last name. I'm just going to say who it was. It was Joe Glassinger. His full name is Joseph Glassinger. You have to use Joseph, not Joe, because Joe is a nickname. The universe doesn't recognize nicknames, it recognizes names. If you say Joe, there's thousands of people named Joe. There's also probably thousands of people named Joseph. So now that that's done, this mouse is underneath my dresser. He got in. I'm just ignoring him for right now. Now that this is done, I'm going to leave this dust in here. Can you move? I'm going to leave this dust in here because it will help. What I'm going to do is I'm going to make 2 runes again. I'm just going to make 1. I'm going to make a protection rune again. You can draw as many of these as you want. If you feel like you need to draw more to get more benefit out of it, then go ahead. When I do stuff like rooms and doors, I like to make 3 instead of just 1. When I'm doing an altar or an object like this or my hat or the necklace, I just do 1 because it's a smaller object and you don't have to channel as much to it, usually. Hi. Hi. Yes, I know he's down there. I know he's down there. I'll move the dresser later. I'll move the dresser later. I'm doing something, okay? You gotta give me a second. So protection runes. For cleansing, I always say protection for some reason. These aren't protection, they're cleansing. Do not listen to me when I say protection for cleansing runes or any other kind of runes. The reason I'm not enchanting and using enchantment runes is because it's probably not possible to enchant an entire room. That would be very strange if you could enchant an entire room. You can enchant articles of clothing and objects, but as far as I know, you cannot enchant an entire room. If any of you know that that's possible, and would like to let me know, either in a helpful comment or an angry one, please go ahead. Just rolls off my back either way. Suppose if you were specific with your intentions, you could do it this way and get protection or something, but I'm not going to do that because I don't feel like it's necessary. At least not for me, because I've done the veiling with protection. I've got this necklace with protection on it. I've got those 2. That's right there, the Jeff Gordon one and the camel one. I've got those with protection on them too. Get back in frame here. Okay, now I'm just going to take this 1. I'm going to get some of the dust on it, and we're going to add some thyme on top of it, as well as some of the basil. I'm not going to bother crushing it up this time because it's just going to burn. It's just going to burn. And this stuff already doesn't burn very well. I feel like if I crush it up even more, it'll just burn even worse. So, I'm not going to add too much because I don't feel inclined to. If your room has enough negative energy and dark energy to make you to need more of this, you'll feel it. You'll feel like you need to add more. That's very important. You will feel what you need to do. Listen to your feelings with this. Listen to the way you feel. That's one of the best ways that the universe communicates, is through feeling. If you feel like you need to do something with this, then you should do it. If you feel like you shouldn't do something, then you shouldn't do it. And if you feel like you're doing something wrong, look for signs of as to what you can do to make it better. I'll set these down now. And I'm going to try and give you guys a little bit of a better angle. Because this is a fairly important thing that you can do. So I'm going to try and move you like up here so you can get a little bit better view of the door. A little bit closer. There we go. That'll do. You take the lighter, take the bowl with the paper and the spices in it, or herbs, not spices, and I'm going to let it burn. I'll show you the correct way to do this. Leave your door open. Oh, there ain't no way. Hold up. Hold up, I got the fucker. Brief commercial break. I got the fucker. He's right here. Come on out, you little bastard. I'll blast you. Did I get you? Damn it, I didn't get him. I hear him. Well, I just beat the shit out of 3 cans for no reason. Anyways, brief commercial break. Yeah, you remember that thing I said about not getting distracted? I just got distracted. Bit of a butterfly moment there. Everything's fine. I didn't die. Neither did that thing, so I guess everything's not fine because I really wanted him to not be alive anymore. He's been causing me problems. I would hex him, but I don't know if he has a name. So anyways, leave your door open. Take your lighter. Take your paper with the ruin and the spices and the herbs, whatever you put in here. Light it. Move it like such. Okay? Counterclockwise. In a circular motion. Vertically, not horizontally. Horizontally. Horizontally is for objects that you hold over spaces. If an object is too big, like such, you do this with. If the object you're cleansing or enchanting is bigger than your bowl and the flame, you move the flame, not the object. Move the flame. Now, if you've got a massive fire that's bigger than this, then you move this. Okay? Just wanted to throw that out there. Hold the door open. I'm going to light this, and I'm going to move it like I just showed you. Ow. Ow. God, oops. Okay. There we go. This doorway is cleansed. Dark energy does not enter through this doorway. Baneful spirits do not enter through this doorway. This room is a safe space from all negative and dark energy. This room is safe. This room is divinely protected and cleansed. Okay. Now that I've got that done, I can go ahead and in this garbage can right here, dispose of this, and once again, thank the universe, all that I've already explained. Oh boy, that's got a real nice basil smell. Whew, I guess it did catch. Anyways, you can dispose of this now. That's going to be all for this one because, oh, I didn't do the window. It's the same exact thing for the window, except you don't put a bag of spice over it. If you want to put a line on top of the window or on the sill, go ahead. More power to you. I'm not going to do that because, like I explained to Doug, with the window, you do the same thing. Take your bowl with the fire going, You move it in a counterclockwise motion around the window like such. And you state your intentions clearly with a confident voice. That's all from me. I will see you in the next one, and welcome to the new channel.